Be blessed by the divine. This is another spontaneous video that I'm doing with absolutely no preparation. After the last video received a good response both on my Facebook and YouTube and as well as on the WhatsApp message that I sent across to the people who are constantly inspiring me, following my work, I thought I will make another spontaneous video on Kundalini Awakening. Kunda Ali Ini. The fire that burns within the men and the women that is common for both is Kundalini. Awakening, therefore, is related to raising of this force from the three-dimensional center of the human body, posited around the tailbone of the human vertebra, to the higher chakras, higher levels, is Kundalini Awakening. There are three types of awakening that were known to human beings: pranayama, mantra technique, and transcendental or idol worship or imagery fixing of the mind. In all the three awakening techniques, there were three specific problems. Problem one: what do you do after the Kundalini is awakened? The Kundalini will increase the intensity of its energy levels at the Agna chakra and the Sahasrara and the various other chakras. And you may not be able to withstand the power of the higher intensity of Kundalini energy at the Agna chakra and other chakras. How do you manage this higher intensity in your body? Question number one is this. Question number two is, this accidental awakening may in fact result in some unpleasant and maybe even painful side effects. How do you deal with those side effects? People have seem to have gone mad by this awakening, and there has even been deaths reported relating to Kundalini awakening in the past. And if you don't really manage this Kundalini awakening in a systematic, simple, easy, safe manner, it has been found to have its dangers associated with it. These were the two major problems associated with Kundalini awakening. But there are various other side problems. You can group all of them into a single group called as Kundalini side effects, not just dangers. There could be head may be spinning, the eyes may become watery, and the mind may start to race. You may not be able to have control over your thoughts and your actions, your words, and so on and so forth. And therefore, we must find a simple, easy, safe method of awakening this Kundalini Shakti from the Muladhara chakra, which is the three-dimensional center of the body, and help us to shift the vortex of this magnetic center from the Muladhara to, say, Agna chakra in between the eyebrows. This awakening is our simplified Kundalini yoga process, systematized and gifted to us by our Guru Sri Vedatri Maharishi. We magnetize our hands. By magnetizing our hands, then we are able to use our hands as a magnet, touch the Muladhara chakra of the aspirant, and then tap the energy and lift this Kundalini energy of the aspirant through the backbone and bring it to the Agna chakra. It's a few seconds process. And this is, in my opinion, the greatest gift that you can give to me by coming and learning from me. And perhaps it is the greatest gift that you can give to any human being who knows how to awaken this Kundalini with the touch. We have 2,500 centers of Sky Yoga centers across the world. We have over 14,000 professors. We have well over about 70 or 80,000 teachers who can teach this Kundalini Yoga to aspirants. So feel free to go to any of the centers and awaken your Kundalini. Now I'm going to make this video by answering many questions that people have asked me. I have a list of all these questions in my laptop right here, And I will try to answer all of these questions to the best of my ability and knowledge and experience. How to awaken Kundalini? I've already told you there are three methods, well-known methods: the pranayama technique, the mantra technique, as well as the transcendental technique, such as imagining moon, sun, and flower and things like that, focusing your mind on those objects. Idol worship is also another classic example of awakening the Kundalini, but these may take several years for you to awaken it. There may be dangers associated with it, and you don't know how to handle the awakened Kundalini once it is awakened, and there may be side effects because of this. And therefore, this easiest method that I have been saying in all my videos in my Sky channel is to awaken it through the Simplified Kundalini Yoga process. How do you know if Kundalini is awakened? Kundalini is your life force. Once it is awakened, usually through our Sky Yoga technique, we raise the Kundalini to Ajna chakra, and in between the eyebrows, you will feel a gentle, feeble, subtle, beautiful pulsation of the life force. And this is a physical sensation that you will feel. This is not a dam bursting or a volcano erupting or a huge atom bomb explosion in your mind. No, it will not be like that. It will be very gentle, it will be very subtle, it will be very feeble, and this Kundalini energy can only be observed by practitioner when their mind is calm and peaceful. In an agitated, excited state, this energy is difficult for one to observe and therefore difficult for one to meditate upon. So the first thing that you will feel is a gentle, feeble vibration in between the Ajna chakra. You may have different kinds of vibration in the body, but this pulsation is very unique. There is no word that can actually explain this sensation. You need to experience this particular sensation in between the Ajna chakra as soon as the Kundalini is awakened through the Sky Yoga process. The Kundalini may awaken through various other processes as well. It may accidentally also awaken. Even then, you will feel some heaviness in your forehead. Usually there will be some heaviness in your forehead. Not a headache, but a slight heaviness may develop in your forehead. People have reported head spinning, eyes watering, headache, backache, back pain, nervous debilitation, nervous debilities, and mental instabilities, and so on and so forth. Usually these problems are not related to Kundalini awakening. However, it may be related to Kundalini awakening. So first defense that you should look at is to go to a doctor, because maybe there is a small fluid collection or fluid imbalance in your ears that may give you this head spin. Or maybe there is a vitamin B12 deficiency that can easily be solved with just a few cents or a few rupees kind of a tablet which is available. Maybe it's a vitamin D deficiency, which can also lead to these kind of symptoms. Vitamin D deficiency can only be solved by sunbathing, sitting under the sun. I do that practically every day. I spend about half an hour to 45 minutes under the sun, and there is a nice beautiful place in my home where the sun comes in early in the morning. So I do my yoga exercises and my meditation by putting a mat over there, and that brings in a whole lot of vitamin D for me, and that's sufficient for me. And I've seen these kind of things happen to me over a period of time, and I've realized that it is because of vitamin B12 and vitamin D deficiency. So especially if you are a vegetarian, if you are a vegan, then vitamin B12 deficiency could be quite real, quite normal. And I would like to recommend that you again check with a doctor first. There may be a lesion in the brain, or there may be a nerve pinch somewhere. There may be a nerve pinch in the spinal column that can also lead to these kind of symptoms. There could even be a temporary problem related to the environmental conditions. There may be a full moon day or a new moon day where the magnetic energy from the moon aligning with that of the sun and the earth may lead to certain unwanted complications or discomforts in your mind. And that also can easily be solved by just staying in fasting, complete fasting for a day, or maybe just take fruits for a day. Then usually the next day it becomes all right. So none of these are necessarily relating to Kundalini awakening. So please understand that not everybody who comes to me complaining that they have had a Kundalini awakening actually have had a Kundalini awakening. Rarely, out of some 100 people, about 2 or 3 people or 1 person in that 100 group may have had Kundalini awakening, and it can be easily sorted out. Kundalini awakening can give you a lot of benefits. First benefit I would like to talk about is the body. Inside the body there are cells. The cells are nicely, beautifully harmonized with the presence of magnetic energy. With the presence of magnetic energy, the cells are able to draw the nutrition that it wants, absorb and digest and store the nutrition in the cells, and eliminate the waste from them. And this process is possible only if the quality and the quantity of the magnetic energy is pretty good. The quality and the quantity of the Kundalini energy or the ether energy, the life force energy, directly results in quantity and quality of biomagnetic energy. Kundalini meditation, Kundalini awakening helps you to increase the quality and quantity of ether energy particles in the body. Therefore, the biomagnetic energy also gets increased. This is the first benefit. Second benefit, because of the bodily health improving, you will be able to store more and more life energy and magnetic energy in the body. The magnetic energy is also resulting in the mental energy. The mind itself is a result of the dynamic transformation of the biomagnetic energy. Our Guru Sri Vedatri Maharishi often used to talk about this. If the biomagnetic energy is of good quality and good quantity, mind will be healthy, clear, peaceful, calm, and it will be able to concentrate better in a peaceful state on whatever you wish to achieve. And that will help you to achieve everything that you want to achieve in your life. The third is the spiritual benefit. Because the mind and the body are harmonized, you are healthy physically, you are healthy mentally. Because of Kundalini awakening, you will also be able to travel on what our Guru called as the journey of consciousness. Consciousness needs to be awakened. Kundalini awakening leads to consciousness awakening in us. After all, consciousness is God. Our Guruji used to always tell us this. And this consciousness, as it develops, first application of the consciousness will be on your material and your social political life. The second application is on nature, art form, ability to convert and communicate, ability to use natural resources for social wealth creation, personal wealth creation, and so on and so forth. The third one is science. Consciousness, once it develops within us, we develop scientific knowledge and scientific exploration and scientific wisdom dawns on us. The study of facts is science. But in most languages, particularly in a language like Tamil, which is my mother tongue, science is called as Vijnana. Vin is either. The knowledge is jnana or wisdom is jnana. The wisdom about the ether or the ethereal particle or the life itself is science. And the fourth level of awakening within of the consciousness leads to self-realization. These four awakening happen side by side once the Kundalini is awakened, because the mind starts to remain at a subtle frequency. It starts to go from beta high level frequency to alpha frequency between 8 and 13 cycles per second, and further down from alpha to theta frequency between 4 and 7, and further down from there to 0.5 and 3 cycles per second. And with these subtle frequencies, the mind attains enormous ability and peace of mind and tranquility, and understands where it has come from, what is nature, who is God, what is our destiny, why are we born in this world, and why therefore there are so many problems and solutions that we can find for those problems. And this is how the brain starts to work. The mind starts to travel in these directions once the Kundalini is awakened. I have already talked about Kundalini dangers, which is the next question, so I don't want to belabor on the same point again. The Kundalini Awakening mantra, somebody has asked me, can I teach them the Kundalini Awakening mantra? Sorry, I am not able to teach you that because I don't know any mantra that can awaken the Kundalini. In my life, I have gotten my Kundalini awakened through the touch of our Guru, Sri Vedatri Maharishi, in 1984. So for the last 35 years now, in fact, the 35th year running now, I'm doing this on January 2nd, 2019, the day after the Happy New Year that we've had the previous day. And in the last 35 years, I have only done sky yoga, I have only done sky meditation, and my awakening has always been through the touch of the Kundalini master in the initial stages. And after that, I've been able to awaken it whenever I want to various chakras, and I've been able to meditate. And I have helped thousands of people to awaken their Kundalini by the touch of my own hands, and I've been able to magnetize my hands, and I've been able to touch the Muladhara chakra and raise it to the Ajna chakra, and with the power of the eyes I've been able to raise it from the Ajna to Sahasrara Duriya crown chakra. And I have also been able to help them to learn Shanti meditation, where I bring the life energy from Ajna down to the Muladhara chakra, root chakra. I don't know any mantra that I can teach you, so if there are people who can teach you that, please learn it. But however, as I told you, it could take several years for you to learn. There could be dangers associated with awakening, and there will be side effects because of them, and you do not know how to handle, control the awakened Kundalini energy. So why go and play with fire? Why go and unnecessarily experiment with things that could have dangerous side effects? Why don't you learn a simplified Kundalini yoga process wherein everything has been simplified and made easy for anybody above the age of 15 to learn and practice it easily at home. Kundalini Awakening meditation is what we teach through the Sky Yoga process. So let me just quickly walk you through what we do when people come to us. First, we give them a little introduction about Kundalini Yoga. We tell them what is Kundalini, what is Kundalini Yoga all about, what is meditation all about. We teach them about Dharana, Pratyahara, Dhyana. We tell them that, okay, the ability to withdraw is Pratyahara, ability to remain focused on one object is Dharana, ability to remain focused at the Ajna chakra and the various chakras in the body with that of your life force is Dhyana. What we teach is Dhyana. After the introduction, we actually raise the Kundalini for the aspirant by again magnetizing our hands, touching the Muladhara chakra, raising it through the backbone, bringing it to the Ajna chakra. About 70-80% of the people who come to us instantly will feel this life force activated at the Ajna chakra without a doubt. However, there will be about 20-30% of the people who will require 2 or 3 times awakening, a little bit more touch. There will still be about 1 or 2% of the people, say 100 people who come to us, there will be some 1 or 2 people who will not feel the Kundalini Shakti even after say 2 days of continuous touching. The reason could be very physical or mental in nature. For instance, in the last workshop of ours in December, there is a gentleman who came who was getting treatment for depression. He was under a neurological medicine, he was under a sleeping drug. Very difficult for him to feel this life force because the sleeping drug can make them feel quite sleepy and drowsy, and they cannot able to concentrate on the life force. Another lady came to me from Mumbai about 3 or 4 months ago. She was suffering from delusional disorder. It was tough. Again, she was imagining things in her mind which was really not happening to her in real life. She was living in a dream world, and she needed therapy, she needed counseling, she needed medicine, she needed somebody to take care of these things. She just assumed that she has been having Kundalini Awakening, and because of that, all kinds of side effects are happening. So we had to make her understand that no, it's nothing to do with Kundalini Awakening. You have delusional disorder. Please go get treated for the delusional disorder from a psychologist or a psychiatrist. We sent them to a psychiatrist, but then that lady was not willing to get treatment. She thought she was quite normal, and she went back to Mumbai saying that, okay, you guys think that I'm a diseased person. I'm not a diseased person. So what can I do? I can only bless them. I can only bless her. I can pray for her. And I hope the Almighty Force give her the right direction to move forward. So the awakening process is quite simple. It is very easy. It only takes a few minutes, and it doesn't cost much. If you come to me, I run a 3-day workshop here. We run a 3-day workshop in Atinagar, Bangalore Center. It is not just a Kundalini Awakening process that we teach in the 3-day workshop. We teach how to heal yourself without medicines, with only food. We teach yoga exercises. We have counseling sessions. We teach introspection exercises. We even have certain moments of our workshop where we let you remain in silence, so that you can feel God inside you, can be one with the bliss inside you. I also stay in silence during the process, and I handhold people, I counsel them, I help them to understand various parts of the thing. And people are free to stay with me for extra 1 or 2 or 3 days if they wish to. And I don't charge any money for those kind of extra days. But I do charge quite well because we run a not-for-profit organization here, and the money goes for donations. But various other centers of Sky Yoga centers across the world, and these awakening process, the system doesn't even cost more than $1 or $2 or maybe $10 at most. So this is not a for-profit initiative that we run. None of us depend on this work for our economic survival. I have a separate business, I have separate work, and that feeds me. I do this on a honorary basis. I don't take money from the money that we collect for the trust. We have a trust work that is running. We have people working for the trust. Money goes for Swamiji's meditation trust, and therefore we are happy to do this at whatever time frame that people require, and we dedicate certain time frame within my calendar. Every month I spend about 3 to 5 days in my life every month on doing this, totally free of charge from my personal perspective. I don't take any money from my family. I also helped many people free of cost. Right now, as I'm making this video, you may have heard a bell sound during the last about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and that is because there are 2 people, really underprivileged children, about 17, 18, 20-year-old children, 2 people. I call them children. They're not really children. They're young adults, because we don't initiate anybody below the age of 15. So these are about 20 years old or 19 years old, and they are getting initiated free of cost. There is a lady master who is initiating these 2 lady kids who have come and getting initiated at this point of time, and they have gotten initiated into Agna Chakra, and one other person is getting initiated into Shanti meditation today. And we don't charge any money for these underprivileged people because they are from a fairly economically weaker section, but spiritually very rich, and they're becoming richer because of this meditation practice. The servant maid in my house, and the people who work along with her, they have all gotten initiated into this meditation free of charge. We don't charge any money for it. People who work with me in my office have also been initiated free of charge. We are not charged any money. So if you are you belong to an economically weaker section and you really can't afford it, please do put a comment on this particular video, or send a mail to me at guru@simplifiedkundaliniyoga.com. I will either help you personally myself, or I will put you across to any other center around the world who can help you to do this. We have talked about the Kundalini Awakening signs and symptoms. I've also told you about what happens after Kundalini Awakening. Many of these things I will make further videos as well. What do you do when you have accidental Kundalini Awakening? Many people write comment on my video, which I think is the first thing that you should do if you indeed having an accidental awakening, or if you suspect that you have had an accidental awakening because of your religious or spiritual practices, or maybe certain practices that you have learned and you have been practicing through the web or through the internet or through YouTube. Please do comment. Second self-defense would be to actually visit simplifiedkundaliniyoga.com and click on the Worldwide Centers link, which will take it to the parent site vedatri.edu.in, where you will be able to find thousands of centers for Sky Yoga across the world. And you should be able to contact one of the yoga masters, the Sky Yoga masters, who will be able to help you to bring down the Kundalini from the Ajna chakra down to Muladhara chakra, along with a process called as the Thanduvada Shuddhi, or the internal spinal clearance process. And that spinal clearance process is again done by the touch of the Divine Master with their magnetized hands. So it cannot be done over YouTube, it cannot be done over Skype or WhatsApp, it cannot be done over distant kind of awakening. It cannot be awakened by anybody who has not been trained in the Sky Yoga system. So Sky Yoga Master along with the aspirant must sit in the same room, physically in front of each other. The male students are initiated by the male masters. The female students are initiated by the lady master of the Sky Yoga system. So please come and take help from the Sky Yoga masters or the Sky Yoga centers nearby, if indeed you have had an accidental Kundalini awakening. Can you awaken Kundalini instantly? Yes, we can. That's what we do. We do awaken the Kundalini instantly, in the sense that it's about 30 seconds to 1 minute process to awaken the Kundalini. And this is done with the help of a trained guru, trained Kundalini yoga master. Never awaken Kundalini without a guru by yourself. This can lead to various complications that I've already talked about, and I will certainly make further videos on this topic for you to understand how exactly you should handle this. And there are various other questions that talk about dealing with chakras and how you deal with the Kundalini awakening, what is the fastest way, what are the different stages, different signs, and how do you know if there is a problem in Kundalini, if it is stuck somewhere, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to make further videos on this, and I would like to keep doing this spontaneous videos. For about half an hour I will speak, 20 minutes to half an hour I will speak. I'll make long videos, and I realize that many people love these half an hour, 20 minutes videos, and people like to find solutions for their problems, and their aspirations are pretty high, especially the spiritual aspirations are going up, and people want answers. And I believe that with my little experience for about 35 years, I should be able to help such people. And I would like to use this opportunity to thank you for being my subscriber, and thank you for following me, and thank you for being continuous inspiration for me to do what I am doing today. And I will see you in the next video. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.